Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this edition of Bearcat Chats. We are highlighting our social media stars. Owen Holland is a junior and a sociology major, and he is the first ever in the long history of Bearcat Chats repeat guest. He was on our Drowsy Driving episode. Kelsey Bartlett is a junior in economics, and Maddie Loyaconi is a sophomore in English. To all three of you, thanks so much for taking the time to join me.
Thank you, Jacob. It's an honor.
And Owen, let's start with you. I was looking at that backpack video that you did.
Mm,
And it was great, because there are so many things that are usually such a normal and everyday part of our lives. And that's one of them that has sort of gone by the wayside, unless you move your backpack from your bedroom to your living room or your desk. What made you come up with that?
yeah, great question. And that video did way better than I expected too. I just thought it was, like just a funny draft I might try. And I guess sort of my methodology behind it is that, for this role as Binghamton content creator, of course we want to star Binghamton. Of course we want to highlight Binghamton, but I feel like in a way our target audience is like the general college age, TikToker. And so with that in mind, I thought, well, I haven't used my backpack since March. I feel like this funny audio might serve to, give my backpack, a sympathetic character, like it misses me. And then, of course, I had a little bit of a Binghamton product placement. I had my B keychain front and center. So I wanted to make it like a relatable thing for college students, but also involve Binghamton. And I mean, it got a great response. I mean, it got over 300,000 views. I couldn't have been happier. And most of the comments were, not necessarily Binghamton students, but college students that were like, yeah, I feel bad for my backpack. I feel bad for that backpack. So it was successful. Yeah, I took a lot of pride in that.
As you should. And Kelsey, you're the dancing star of all this, and I know TikTok's known for all the dances and everything and the lip syncing, but you're really out and about on campus. What's going through your mind when you're putting together or brainstorming for the university?
When I'm thinking about the dances, I have to think that they're appropriate first, but then I practice for like weeks before I even show it to like the meeting so that like I can have it down
Oh,
packed for a draft. And
right.
then I go on campus after practicing for another week and I do it in front of a lot of people and it takes a lot of takes because I keep messing up because people are staring at me obviously. So it's a lot of nerves because the one where it was Spooky Scary Skeleton, that one people were like hearing it from miles away. Like they could hear my song playing and they came up to me and they're like, we could hear you, right? Like we were excited to see you dancing. So it was kind of nervous, like how people expect me to dance, like miles away from them.
Because you're you're not just doing it for the TikTok that will eventually be on, but you're doing it in front of a live audience. You're really exposed.
Yeah, I had people for the pumpkin one, people were like cheering me on too in front of Newing. They're like, yeah, let's see it, let's go. And it made me super nervous that I messed up, so I had to keep going. So it's kind of nervous to have people like watching me, but it's also kind of fun because I've never had that besides like in high school when I cheered, but like having like people watching, it's kind of entertaining for me because I get to have an interaction with people that you don't get to have nowadays.
And that's great, like live performance reps, which is a totally different skill than just going um, live to tape, so to say. Maddie, you're smiling. How do you handle the live performance aspect of all this?
Yeah. No, I totally admire Kelsey's ability to just like go and dance on campus. I think that's so funny because I did two like videos of mine were really on campus, and the first one was the ghost one. And I kind of went earlier in the morning. It was like 9 a.m. So there was the people who were around like the nature preserve, they were more like couples walking and stuff. It wasn't really much students. So like I kind of avoided like an audience for that. But the second one I did was the skateboard flow from progressive one. Absolutely like ridiculous. So I was honestly surprised. Like I saw a lot of people when I was doing that and people like walked by, they were like, what is going on here? So I was really surprised no one commented like, oh, I saw this happening like on campus. I thought there would be like at least one person to say that, but there wasn't anything like that. But it was just so funny because people would just walk by and be like, oh my God, love the costume. Like I wonder, I don't even know if they knew what I was doing, like if they knew the trend. So it was kind of funny.
Yeah, and nothing like busting a move right in front of like an older couple and just seeing that reaction. Um, Now, Owen, like, what does it mean? And I've sat in the meetings that you guys have with our staff, and sometimes I'm like, I feel old. Like, am I getting this? Because it's so new still, but so popular, as you said, amongst the college age group. How do you get involved to start doing it?
Yeah, good question, actually. So, as someone who, I've always loved filmmaking, we touched on this in the last chat, but so, during the quarantine summer, I was basically keeping myself busy. I was experimenting with green screens, with drones, editing softwares. And, I almost had like a, if you can't beat them, join them moment because I hadn't been previously on TikTok. And then come July, I thought, well, maybe I'm missing out. This is a huge platform. It's media, like, its currency, so to speak, is all videos. And, videos are that's what I love to do. So, I made an account in the late summer. And, I soon kind of discovered the formula to TikTok, which is, the trends, right? So whether it's a piece of music, whether it's an audio sample from like a TV show or a movie, or whether it's like a specific interaction between two characters throughout a video, what you really want to do is, mimic a trend and put your own personal spin on it. So I started doing this, I started making videos based on the sociology major and based on Spider-Man and Star Wars, my two favorite sagas. And, I started getting a lot of views. A couple of my videos went viral. And I realized it was something that I enjoyed. And, to me, the gratification of receiving a lot of views and a lot of likes, I really enjoyed it. So I stuck with it. And then I saw John and Ryan's ad for Binghamton Creator. I applied and, a semester later, here we are. And, it's been a lot of fun.
How about for you, Kelsey?
For me, I started before quarantine. My best friend has been on it for a long time, like when it was considered cringy. And so last semester, like before quarantine, but like last semester, like January, she's like, you have to do this TikTok with me. And I was like, absolutely not. You're out of your mind. I'm not dancing. I cannot dance. You're out of your mind. And she's like, you have to do it with me. So I tried it and I fell in love. I was like, this is so much fun. Why didn't you tell me sooner? So I started dancing in our dorm room, and then we started dancing on campus. We started dancing in the Manhattan. So it was fun. And then when quarantine hit, I could not stop. It was addicting to me. I would scroll for hours and I was like, where did the time go? So then when I saw the ad, I was like, Vicky, who's my best friend, I was like, should I apply? And she's like, absolutely, you should apply. You're obsessed. So then I applied, and she's the person who records all my TikTok. She's always with me. She helps with my ideas. She helps me. She watches me practice. So it was all her really who started, and she's the one who got me into this.
And for you, Maddie?
Yeah, I actually also had TikTok when it was considered cringy back in like maybe 2018, I guess, like the fall of 2018.
Wow.
And like back then, the creators only had like the most popular creators probably like 200,000. So it's insane to me that people like Charlie D'Amelio come on here and she almost has like 100 million or something like that. Like that's so insane. And if you told me like back then Binghamton would have its own TikTok account, I would have never believed you. I've been like, no way. Because my friends would like see me on TikTok and they'd be like, you're no way you're on TikTok right now. But I didn't really start making videos until like I made like on my other account, but like I didn't take it seriously. I kind of just like react to videos and like that was it. But over the summer it started to get really like diverse, I guess, the sides of TikToks, and there became like more about like I guess fan related stuff, like how Owen said he had a Spider-Man. It was like a lot of book related things like Harry Potter, Percy Jackson. There was like all those, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool that it's coming to TikTok. Like I never would have expected this. So I made another account just for that. And actually like recently it really started taking off. I used like Owen actually inspired me with his like green screens. Like I noticed all of the videos with green screens have really been like taking off for him. So I was like, all right, let me try this in like a book related way. And it's been totally helping. Like, so it's so crazy to see how something as simple as like adding a green screen to your video can really like enhance the views more. But yeah, it's been so much fun. I really love making videos on TikTok.
Maybe if I could touch on that green screen point, another interesting detail from my perspective is that I'm actually studying from Pennsylvania this semester. All my classes were online, so I figured, I guess I'll just stay home. And I thought that might pose a challenge to my content creation, but I relying heavily on green screens, and also I use my bedroom at home as like a set for an off-campus student bedroom. So luckily, like Maddie said, with green screens, I overcame that, and it wasn't really a problem at all.
Do you think, Maddie, that the pandemic has made it more challenging to put together videos, or are you really hitting on an audience that is captive because all of you are sort of in it together?
Yeah, I think for sure since the pandemic, I think just way more people have downloaded TikTok in general. Like before my videos really, it was hard to get views on them and stuff like that. and just like way more of a broader audience, I guess, and way more people going on TikTok specifically for fan related content, where before it was more like just to, you know, vent or to dance, stuff like that. So it's like, I think the pandemic has actually helped content creation, to be honest. And it's also like a way for people to vent, I guess, about the whole pandemic and stuff like that. Like everyone can go on and like relate. I miss like old life, stuff like that. So it's kind of cool that people have used it as a way to almost cope with what's been going on in the world. And yeah, so I think actually the pandemic has helped TikTok in general.
Kelsey, is this, it's funny, we said everyone's majors at the start, sociology, economics, English, fairly traditional majors. Is this something you can see like doing as a career, or is this more of a hobby on the side?
I mean, I could always see it as a career. I mean, not as a creator because that takes some real talent to be like Charlie D'Amelio. She has so much talent, and I give it to her because being berated by like paparazzi and stuff, I could never. But like marketing and stuff with like TikTok, like how we are for like Binghamton, that could be so cool to do something like that someday. Like I could totally see myself doing that.
Yeah, I agree. I think like doing this TikTok for Binghamton especially has really like opened my eyes to different careers I can do like on the internet. Like honestly, TikTok alone has like given me such an insight to other jobs like I didn't know were available. Like I'm an English major, and lately on my For You page I've been seeing a lot about like ghost writers, which is like I didn't know that existed, to be honest. And like so many things like that, especially related to like cinema jobs too, because like I don't know, when you think of cinema you kind of just think of like filmmaking and directing and stuff, but there's like so many other jobs you wouldn't even think of. So it's just crazy how you can go on TikTok and learn so much when it's like you're really just going on there to be entertained. But I've really like have such a better concept of like what jobs are available, especially when it comes to like Instagram managing and stuff like that. Like there's so many social media jobs that I can really see myself doing for sure.
Yeah, for me, one thing that was kind of surprising is that, on TikTok, just like from a company's perspective or an institution or even just a personal creator, the amount of interest and the amount of information that you could pack into a video, because, TikTok ranges from 0 to 1 minute. So you have like a 60-second window to make a video. And, it kind of taught me that, within that short amount of time, you can pack a lot of interest, you can have some information, you can really engage your audience. And that makes me think that digital marketing could be a potentially lucrative field. I mean, we're all getting experience with it now, so it could only help. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. The first time I heard about TikTok, I'm in sports broadcasting, come from that world, and two teams were doing a contest, and I said, "Tick what?" I was totally confused, as usual. But the way it's grown, the idea that in sports, at least, teams have jobs just dedicated to social media. I mean, what you're doing now is a resume builder.
Yeah, I agree that TikTok has really grown and that a lot of schools are starting to do it, but not only schools, but I use as you were talking about like sports, a lot of sports teams too are doing
Okay,
it.
yeah,
Like
I've also noticed newspapers and stuff. I mean, like the Washington Post is like actually a really famous, I guess, creator on TikTok, and it's awesome that they use it in a way where it's still fun. It's not just like educational posts and stuff. You can actually relate to the content. And like, yeah, I can totally see like if TikTok continues to be like so widespread as it is right now, I can totally see it to be like a main source of like marketing.
And like with the sometimes funny, sometimes relatable content that we put out on the Binghamton TikTok, I think the idea is that it'll be an interesting, engaging video, and then the viewer might go, oh, what's this? Binghamton University posted this, and then they'll click on our account. They'll check us out. Maybe they'll even look at our official website, or maybe it's someone who's applying to college, and they'll give Binghamton a second look. So yeah, I mean, similar to a sports team, it's a great experience. It's a great resume builder, and it feels good to contribute to the university in that way. Through something I know well, which are videos.
That's so interesting to think of it as almost like a front porch for admissions. Maybe they're listening. We're just getting you guys more jobs by the minute. Tell me, not to throw cold water on all this, but I'm curious, and I think it's an important question to all three of you. You can start with Owen. Is how do you handle the pressure of social media and the emphasis on views?
It's a good question. So obviously, TikTok has an algorithm, right? That's how they delineate who gets to see what posts. And the algorithm, it's infamously very hit or miss. I think we can all agree that sometimes there's a video that we think is going to do really well, it doesn't do very well, or there's a video that we might think is kind of a waste, like kind of like an experimental one, and it does very well. So there's some degree of randomness. It's hard to say what video might get views, but I will say that when you capitalize on a trend or when you use a trending audio, that typically boosts the algorithm, and it'll help you get more exposure. So that's what we've been trying to do, and I would say all three of us have been fairly successful in that. We've each had videos that have done very well view wise, but it's random, and of course there's some pressure to get views, but I always know that my next one will make up for it, or one of these two will have a video that does well in place of mine. So we all kind of we all contribute to it.
Sometimes it's like a little disheartening, obviously, when it's like your video doesn't do as well as you thought it would. But it's funny to see how like there'll be some weeks where all three of us kind of just have like a slump of no views. Like specifically during the election, like none of our videos really did that well. And it was like, wow, there must be so much content on specifically like that. So it's crazy how like world events really intervene with like what's going on social media. And also, like Owen said, like if you post one and it doesn't do as well, it's like, oh well, I have the next video, I can just keep going. So like that's why it doesn't like affect me as much as like I think it would. And I was gonna say one more thing.
Almost like motivation in a way. If one video doesn't do very well, it's like, all right, let me try a bit harder, let me try a trend, and maybe the next one will do great.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a study done and it shows like times, I guess, to post on TikTok, and I've been using that more recently to post, and I feel like it has been working. Like on Mondays, the best time to post is like 10 p.m., which is like weird that like, but it's cool that there's like an actual like time, like that you should post.
Kelsey, do you find that you have to take a social media break as well? Do you have to organize your day? Because it would seem like, as you said, you can get caught scrolling for hours.
I mean, probably I should take a break, but do I know? I mean, with Binghamton's TikTok, I do see myself taking a break from like the last post that I posted. I got a lot of hate from what I said about Binghamton. Like I said, it was a Premier Ivy, and I got so much hate from it. So I had to take a break from that because I was feeling so down about it. I was like, oh my gosh, people really hate it. But it had so many views and so many likes that I was like, okay, you know what? It's okay. It's all right. But for my own TikTok, I'm always on it. I don't post like all the time, but like I'm always on it, and I don't take a social media break from that because when I'm bored or sitting in my room, like I'm like, oh look, there's my phone. It's looking at me. Oh, I should go on it. Okay, I will go on it.
Interesting, really interesting. Because it's so powerful, as you said, it can really play with your emotions. Lastly, what are you guys working on for the future? What can people have to look forward to, especially as we get to these winter months where people are inside more?
So coming this week, I have like, it's kind of like a trendy, I guess, video. It's a sound where it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It kind of just goes wow, and it like you show like where you were. Like so back in high school, I was applying to colleges, and then to now, like I'm in like a university that I love, and I have like so many friends that I've met. So I kind of did a compilation of like my time here and stuff. Like so, it's just a bunch of videos of like how much fun I've had, and so yeah, that's like what's coming up. But like in the future, I think with Binghamton's like beautiful like winters, it snows so much, it'd be like so like fun to do a snow related video. I'm hoping in the next week like the snow sticks a little bit so I can do it on the actual campus before we go home, but I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to show like like a snow fight on campus or like sledding. So that's what I'm hoping to do in the next month or so.
Kelsey, is the plan? Yeah, is the plan to keep this going? By the way, when you guys go home.
Yeah, the plan is to keep this going, and for me, the videos that I'm planning to do are like, there's one that's like Christmassy and it's Renegade to Feliz Navidad, and me and my roommate are gonna do it like we're gonna wear like Christmas outfits in front of our apartment, which is like all Christmased out. So like we're really excited to show you guys that like on my half. But yeah, we do plan to keep this going when we go home. Like Owen's at home right now, and like he's doing a fantastic job at it. So I don't see why me and Maddie can't do it when we go home. So yeah, we do plan to keep posting videos that do relate to Binghamton, but in the comforts of our own homes.
Are we going to see parents in these videos, by the way?
I mean, if we're allowed to, my mother would love to make an appearance. She's a fun one.
I will say, maybe I'll put my dog in a Binghamton sweater, and then maybe he can star in one.
We have seen Cooper in some other non-TikTok videos before. He was in a star in the Drowsy Driving video. Dogs. Now that's a slam dunk, right? I mean,
Yeah.
You just put a dog in a video and the
Yeah,
numbers
it's all
pile
over.
up. Yep, well, maybe even I'll do one. No, I won't. Owen Holland, Kelsey Bartlett, and Maddie Loiacone, thank you so much. You guys are doing a great job. Really excited to see what you guys do as the semester continues and you take it remote. And thanks so much again for joining us.
Thank you. It was great.
Thank you so much.